How important is it for you? I guess it probably depends on the role a little bit, but like fluency in English and like almost to some degree lack of accent.
It absolutely depends on the role. So,
Okay.
if you're hiring somebody that's going to be calling US based companies, their English needs to be really, really, really good. And most people, I would say the average person in the Philippines is like 85, 90% proficient. That is good for like 85 to 90% of roles. And then there's the last 10%, which is like, um, you're hiring somebody to like help you create videos or like help you. There's so many things where like the English has to be perfect, and like it's nothing to do with like, oh, you can't have this job because you can't speak perfect English, but it's like if they're a video editor and like they're making like a couple grammatical errors, that's an issue, right? Like that's
Yep.
not gonna work. It has to be perfect. And
Yep.
so, but there's other roles. There's plenty of other roles, like a bookkeeper, for example. Whereas, like, you don't need someone with perfect English to do your bookkeeping. Like,
Mhm.
and don't worry about it, right? And that will help you find better candidates. If you don't make things, unless they're absolutely a requirement, don't make them a requirement.
Smart. I was gonna say, so I'm gonna mark that down as number two use case of bookkeeping because we actually recently just hired an absolute all-star over in the Philippines to do our bookkeeping across 3 or 4 different businesses. And I think it's very important because I get this question a lot when I started telling people that I'm doing this. Bookkeeping substantially different than accounting. What this person is doing is going through and reconciling the books, reconciling transactions. They're not advising me on the US tax code or like how to go and file with the IRS or anything. They're just basically keeping things organized. And I will say, like, with this bookkeeper last month, for 2 months, she billed me across 2 or 3 different businesses. The total amount was $48. And so I see that and I'm like, this is fantastic. Okay, like this is really good. I'm looking through all of these, like she's made like monthly P&Ls and monthly balance sheets. And I was like, all of this stuff is exactly what I would have done. And it's flawless. Now, again, same thing. Like she's not emailing me like, Connor, like, have you thought about doing this like depreciation schedule for like this property you just bought? Like, no, that's not her job at all. It's solely to say revenue came in, these expenses came out, and it's categorized under such. And it's been super helpful. I will say on all of that though, I took like 1, maybe 2 accounting classes in college, and screening bookkeepers in an interview process was like the most confusing thing in the world for me. Because I'm basically going in and I'm saying like, have you used QuickBooks? And everyone's like, yeah, obviously. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty much like the main criteria I was looking for. So like, I don't really know what else to ask here. So it was a little confusing, and I'll attribute most of the success we've had with our current hire to luck. But that's definitely like something that's kind of interesting that I've learned from a manager perspective. It's like if you've never really done the job before, knowing the right questions to ask to like weed out the wrong candidate is a little bit tough.
Yeah, that's something that's really important. So I've got a lot of experience now hiring virtual assistants, and my team has, right? Because I have a team there that's helping me do this. And they know what to look for, especially in certain roles. And then in other roles, like we have to do more to figure out and make sure that they're actually going to be good, a good fit. Like it's easy to find someone with experience in Excel, but like for example, right now we're trying to find somebody that's more of an analyst, and it's harder, right? Because we didn't know how to vet them. Fortunately, we have set up some systems now with some testing and things where, we're able to vet them pretty hard. We have a series of, there's like over 200 tests in this software that we use that we can give to them. And so like everyone that like we vet, they take like a personality test, like an IQ test,
Cool.
like a test on the actual, and then a test on the actual things that they'd be doing. So if it's QuickBooks, then like they would take a test on QuickBooks, right?